boys and girls, how you doing? I hope everyone's doing great. I'm doing great, and we, my friends, are playing some more WWE Supercard. Now, let's get those belts nice and polished, guys, but we are doing some crazy stuff today. Now, we have been grinding out like crazy, and we're still going for the money in the bank. Now, I'm not going to be showing you what points I've got at the moment, because I've been getting asked, show us how many points you've got, but I'm not going to do it because of the fact that I don't know if I can get the card or not. If I can get the card, then I will show you as we're getting closer, but I will have you know that we need to grind a lot of cards in order to, or a lot of contracts in order to get this thing in the last 5 days. But we were able to win our team battlegrounds, so we're going to go ahead and claim this right here. We have happened to kick a few people out and pick up a couple of new people already because people weren't really playing, and we just come away with the victory there. So like 300 points in it. And we had, I think, 2 people that didn't play. So yeah, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to claim this right here. So I'm hoping for another pro, but that could be being a bit greedy. But let's see what we get. We get a Chris Jericho, and he's not a pro, so that's okay. But we're going to go ahead and get a Summer Rae and an R-Truth, because that's the truth. And we are 1,000 battle points away from that right there. Or I don't know actually. Let me double check, because I think I may have actually picked up a second Chris Jericho. I was just about to say, I was pretty sure that maybe from a team battleground or something, I actually picked up a second Chris Jericho. So as you can see here, there's my first Chris Jericho that is pro'd, and we do actually just get a pro. So this Chris Jericho is completely done. All of his games are ready. All of his training is completely done. We are super close. We just have to prioritize this Chris Jericho. We're super close on our Shinsuke Nakamura as well. This guy's fully trained up and all of his games are done. And this guy right here is fully trained up, but his games are only halfway done. So the rest of the ring domination will probably pro him up and get him ready. And also we will start focusing on this Chris Jericho. In other news as well, I said I was going to do it in today's video, but I happened to do it off of camera, and I've leveled this guy up quite a bit. So as you can see, he's about sort of a quarter done. We're looking strong on him, but we're going to play one game, guys. We're going to play one ring domination game, and then I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to bring you back a bit later. As you can see as well, the contracts that I've been using, I've gone through the 100 contracts that I bought in yesterday's video, which were given to me by free from the card pack that you saw me open for the daily login rewards. Moving super close to that Hall of Fame login reward, which could be quite cool, and also leveling up a few other cards. I need to change out our Samoa Joe to that Chris Jericho, so that we can get working on him and get that second Chris Jericho leveled up and pro him, because funny enough, I wasn't expecting it to be the case, but Chris Jericho actually seems to be kind of like a mid-tier card. Let's turn this down a little bit. Hopefully that hasn't been too loud for you guys, even though I could barely hear it myself. It always seems to be a lot louder in the recordings for you guys, so hopefully that wasn't too loud. But he is actually a really good card in terms of the fact that he has like a lot of toughness, as well as his speed and charisma is really good for the money in the banks. I think what I'll probably end up doing with this second Chris Jericho is not giving him so much stats into the toughness. I might build up his power just a little bit, so that he's got a little bit better power than my other Jericho does, because I've kind of found that sometimes I think it's something like 4,300 on his power kind of makes him lose a couple of fights sometimes. So if we can eliminate that, then that would be absolutely amazing. for the Money in the Banks. Because if you didn't know, for Money in the Bank, evening your cards out, so making them kind of 50-50 stats, except for the main stats, is the way to go when it comes to the WrestleMania tiers, because of obviously there's a lot of times that you'll have to fight the top end of the table, and it will end up being stuff like power and speed, or charisma and speed, and it's always a double stat. So it's more beneficial to make sure that your card, so for example Undertaker, is fully set up in power and toughness how he would normally be, but then in the second two stats, rather than just focusing his charisma because it's his third best stat, you would actually be better off evening out his speed and his charisma, because it would actually win you more games in Money in the Bank than what having him as like toughness, power, charisma, speed, because that's the order that his stats go in. So his main stat is toughness, then it's power, charisma, then it's speed. Whereas if you make it so that basically you have toughness, power, and then in close proximity to one another, the charisma and the speed, you will probably always win your match when it comes to Undertaker versus most other players inside the Money in the Bank. So just bear that in mind. Take it in as some advice for helping you win those Money in the Bank fights and getting your 5-point contracts and getting 50 points a game. But we're going to call the video here, and we're going to bring you back probably tomorrow morning when I'm further on in my King of the Ring. As you can see here, I'm at game 27 right now with 16 wins and 10 losses because I've not really been charging my cards. I keep forgetting to charge. And also we'll be much further on in the ring domination because we have to go and get the Mae Young. There's no if, buts or maybes about it, because of the fact that now that they've changed the stats of the Mae Young, she's compatible with my Alexa Bliss, and what makes it even better is it will be, as a tag team, they will be a 4-stat tag team. Now, if you don't know what a 4-stat tag team means, then if you look at Alexa Bliss, she procs in power and speed, and then Mae Young procs in toughness and charisma. So that will mean that when they're a compatible tag team, they're going to get buffed up because they're compatible, but then when Alexa Bliss, she has bad toughness, her toughness will be counterbalanced by the fact that Mae Young has good toughness, and that kind of thing. So you've got to bear that in mind when it comes to picking your tag teams. So for example, if you look at Brock Lesnar, he's an up arrow, so he's gonna be compatible with Kevin Owens, but they both proc in power toughness, so they have a very high chance of losing against speed and charisma teams. Whereas if you go and get somebody that is going to be more compatible, then you'll find that it's a lot better. So like, for example, Undertaker, who is power toughness, and then, well, not Chris Jericho, but Roman Reigns, who is speed and charisma. Again, Undertaker and Seth Rollins are a 4-stat tag team because of the fact that they proc in the opposite stats. So just bear that in mind. Sometimes having that in a team is more beneficial than just going for your best heroes. So take that into consideration, and I shall see you guys in just a little while. Okay, and we are back, boys and girls. Now, I did go ahead and not add on to the video because I purposely wanted to wait until we were closer. So I'm going to show you what's been going on over the weekend, and that, my friends, is, as you can see in my combinables, there are now no longer any big cards in my combinables. At long last, after a month of grinding, we have finally pro'd every single WrestleMania card that I have available to be pro'd. So you can see here my Shinsuke Nakamura is at level 50 and his games are kind of almost there. We have also got our Chedrick Alexander, who again is almost completely done, just a few more speed and charisma games. And also, earlier on today, we trained up and we got a lot of stuff, and we managed to start leveling up our Chris Jericho. Now, as you can see, this Chris Jericho is slightly more 50-50 when it comes to power and toughness. He's still fully traded up in speed and charisma, and it's the same with my Shinsuke Nakamura. I've also gave him a little bit more power than rather than just all going into speed. And I believe I've done the same thing with the Alexander as well, but I can't quite remember. I don't think I did, but I'm not too sure. But I know that the Shinsuke Nakamura and also the Chris Jericho definitely have more power than all set up into their third stat. So instead of having toughness as his third best stat, his power and his toughness are a little bit closer together, which is quite nice. So that's pretty cool there. In other news as well, guys, King of the Ring, the other one that we was doing, I completely forgot to charge, and I got knocked out in the, I think it was the quarterfinals actually, because I forgot to charge, and I just used the cards as training. But as you can see here, we're charged up. I have been forgetting to charge this King of the Ring as well, because of the fact that I've been focusing so much on the Mae Young and also the Money in the Bank that I keep forgetting to charge my cards. So that's not cool. But also, at the very, very top of the screen, you can see here that we are in the attack phases of our Team Battlegrounds. Now, I haven't used my attacks yet, because, as I say, I'm still focusing on the Mae Young and also the Carmella card, that if it does happen to be that we start to fall behind on points or the enemy team starts coming back, I will play those matches. But for right now, we're focusing on the Mae Young. Now, as you can see, we are 2 points away from Mae Young. We do have a pick doubler, but it doesn't really matter because I already have 2 shards. Now, I didn't think I was going to get as many shards in a row as I did the last time, so I went and I had 2 pick doublers. So I used the one, and it just seemed to be that I got every single piece that I needed. Every pick that I picked was a shard, and I got like 6 shards in a row, which was absolutely crazy. And I kind of thought, well, I'm probably going to get this card, so I need to stop. So I just exited the game, and I've decided to start doing the recording once that final bout recharged. So you can see here that no matter what, even if we lose this game, let's turn this noise down a little bit. Even if we do happen to lose this game, we've got the pick doubler there, which will give us 6 picks, and we will 100% get this Mae Young card after this. So that's absolutely amazing. And what's even better about it is, as I said in yesterday, or in fact, I think I said it in the first half of this video, because of the fact that the first half of this video was done on, I think, Friday morning, and it was going to be continued over on the Saturday. But I decided I wasn't going to do that and release it on Saturday. I decided I was going to wait, and because of the fact that I did miss out the King of the Ring. So it would have literally just been one game of the RTG, sorry, not the RTG, the Ring Domination, and we would have only been sort of at the start / halfway through Mae Young, so it wouldn't have really been anything too exciting. So I decided I was just going to wait and bring the game over to the end of the Mae Young card. So now we're talking Sunday, and we're talking Sunday right now at 4 o'clock in the evening. So we have been taking a while to do the Mae Young card, but as I said before, that's because we've predominantly been focusing on grinding out the Carmella Money in the Bank contracts, and we're still quite a bit away. We still have to grind out quite a lot of contracts, so that's not really too much fun. So let's go pick these, and we are going to be able to get this no problem at all. There we go. Mae Young in the house, looking absolutely amazing to go along with our Alexa Bliss as a tag team. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm super happy about that. If you got the Mae Young card, let me know in the comments down below, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace on the streets.